And awesome. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. I know it's the day before Thanksgiving and everybody's really busy. I do appreciate your time for sure. And we are recording the call so that way, you know, just in case anything happens and you get disconnected, that you can, you know, listen to the replay or share the replay or whatever. But I want to go ahead and give recognition. So for Success Club, we have Gabby with 8, Molly McGuire with 7. I don't know why I have to say your last name, just because I feel like saying it, but you're the only Molly on the team. I just like saying your last name. Elisa Reimer, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is her first month as a coach, and she's at Success Club 6. That's amazing, and it's just, it truly shows you that there's no reason why we can't hit Success Club unless we're just not trying. Because if a new coach is hitting Success Club, I mean, they're just putting forth the effort, they're sharing their excitement, and it's kind of one of those things where you hear, well, people aren't interested, it's the holidays, it's this and that. It's really not that. It's just that we're not trying hard enough. And you know, this is something I have to also tell myself, is that people are interested because people are hitting Success Club. So it's just proven that that we just need to put ourselves out there even more. And then we have Sybil with Success Club 5. So way to go, everybody that got Success Club. There are still like 5 more days left in the month. I've seen people hit Success Club in 3 days. So push, if you want it, push and make it happen. You'll surprise yourself on what you can do. So today, we've been talking a lot, well, Jared and I have been talking a lot the past couple weeks about having a story and your personal story. And a lot of people feel like I don't have one, maybe because you don't have a big weight loss thing, or you're still on your journey, and so you feel like just because of weight loss you don't have that story, so you don't really have anything to share. And it's not true. Everybody has a story. We're all so uniquely different, and we're going to relate to different people, but the only way that people are going to be able to relate to you is if you share your story. So Jared is going to share his slides that he put together. We'll also post them in the group. Oh, another thing I wanted to address is someone had mentioned something. Oh, I think it was Jolene mentioned something about a shipping issue. It totally sucks when we have shipping issues. It really does. But your excitement is going to be your customer's excitement. If you were complaining to them and like saying, yeah, that totally sucks, I can't believe they did that to you, or anything. And I know that's how we really feel, because we're like, get it together, Beachbody, come on, you know. But the thing is share the excitement that we are growing so much that we had to go get another warehouse to fulfill our orders. You can also call Coach Relations and say, hey, look, this has been postponed 4 times. What can you do for my person? Like, can you do anything? Maybe they can do something, maybe they can't. I don't really know. I've never had the issue, but really, like, that kind of growth with Beachbody, there's going to be problems. But be excited that we are in that kind of growing period. Hammer and Chisel is going to kill it, and I'm sure that they are preparing for that. Just like the 21-day fix did. I mean, people were on waiting lists for the 21-day fix. So I have a feeling that they're just preparing that so it's not like that next time, and they needed a bigger place for that. So I'm going to pass it over to Jared, and he's going to go ahead and share his thing today.
My thing today.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to share screen.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here so you can see my sweet slides. Well, with that I can't. Okay, that's good. Okay. Now.
Good.
I think I'm good. Can everybody see that?
Well, now you're not going to be able to see if they can see it. But
okay,
yeah.
Sweet. All right, anyway. So we're going to go over the power of your story. Now, story is really important, and a story is something that you should have had, before when you first started. And a lot of people, like myself, didn't think they had a story because I was somewhat healthy, but not really. And I didn't come from, anyway, I didn't have that huge impact story that most people do. But if you really think about it, you actually do have a really touching emotional story. And so the power of your story, and every business has one, social media, everybody has one that is very successful. So, I mean, it's just like those success stories on Beachbody. I mean, that's a story. They're telling their story. And so just make this to where you're telling your success story. So we'll start with why your story matters. The power of sharing your story stems from what it allows you to say and not to say. Are you hardworking, trustworthy, loyal, reliable, and committed? Okay, nobody's perfect, and people don't want to hear how perfect you are. They want to hear your struggles. The best part of someone's story is the conflict. It's just like you go to a movie or you see a movie trailer and you see what it's about, and it's got like some sort of conflict, and you want to know how he's going to get through it and all this stuff. And so that's why you go see that movie. So and I learned all this in 3 days. So I can't give all this to you in 30 minutes. So I'm just going to give you something that can help you start working on your story. And all those, they're hardworking, trustworthy, loyal, reliable, and committed. That's all great characteristics. If you rattle off that list to your clients, now do you expect them to believe you? Why? What have you left them with, really? What are they walking away thinking? Okay. Oopsie. I didn't want to do that yet. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
I don't have a touch screen.
That's right. Give it the times. All right. So your story reveals who you are without you having to explicitly tell them. Man, I'm horrible at reading. Sharing your authentic personality and spirit is what bonds people to you. Sharing these kinds of stories can build trust and strengthen existing connections, both personally and professionally. So one is form personal connection, right? Your family, friends, clients obviously know what you do, but without your story, they know little, if any, about you on a personal level. When you tell your story, you instantly begin to build a personal connection. 2 is gain credibility. Now, did you raise a lot of money for a charity organization? Did you take care of your family's finances? Did you have your heart set on one career path, but Beachbody was more rewarding? Your story gives you content as a person. And then also develop trust. Now, this is a big one, and we always say it, develop trust with the people that you're talking to. So you have to develop trust. Whenever you reveal personal aspects of your life, you build trust. So by opening up to someone in conversation, it's natural for other people to open up to you. So you can't afford to not tell your story. So I have some of the great leaders that use the power of story, and Julius Caesar is one. One of the world's greatest leaders was undoubtedly Julius Caesar. When Caesar spoke, people marched. He knew the power of rhetoric and actually spent a good portion of his life educating himself in storytelling and public speaking. His speeches rallied the Roman military, won the respect of his countrymen, and eventually led Caesar to become a skilled politician and a ruler of Rome. So somebody in this day and age would know about Lady Gaga. Instantly recognized by fans and critics alike, Lady Gaga tells us repeatedly that she was the weird kid at school, describing herself as a freak, maverick, and a lost soul looking for peers. In Gaga's world, we are the outsiders. While she and her little monsters, her fans, are united and together they can change the world. She was able to personify and ultimately own the world, own the word different, making her easy to recognize and recall. She communicates individuality, creativity, and originality, making people quench for more. Now, if you know like if you've seen Lady Gaga's videos and stuff, you know what I'm talking about. You know, individuality for sure.
Meat suit.
Yeah, but she's one. And another one, Henry V. Now, this young kid had to get 500 Englishmen who were sick, infirm, tired, hungry, and cold to fight for him. He had to inspire these 500 men to go fight 10,000 Frenchmen who were rested on horseback and had superior weaponry. The French were the better warriors. He had to, in one speech, get them to stir something inside of them to get them to fight and defeat the French. And they did. So that guy had to have a powerful story to get 500 Englishmen to go out and fight 10,000 Frenchmen and win. Oh, I'm shaking it. So one thing that I wanted to kind of bring up, like every business has a story, and it's just like take Whole Foods, for instance, which charges 43 cents for an egg. Go to the local grocer down the street, and they're charging 4 cents per egg. Now, what's the difference? Whole Foods delivers a story with their eggs. You know how many acres the farm sits on, the living conditions of the chickens, and how the eggs are treated all the way from the farm to the shelves of Whole Foods. People don't buy product. They buy the story behind it, and that's you. So you are the product, behind your story. So right now I'll give a couple of exercises just to kind of drill down what your personal story is. And once you start finding these stories, that it never stops. It keeps coming, and you think of one thing and it'll bring up something else. So one thing, and if you want to write this down, or if you don't and you want to listen to this later, that's cool, but I'd like you to do these exercises here just to find that story. If you're having trouble with those stories,
if you feel boring,
yeah, if you feel like you have a boring story, or
don't have anything interesting to say,
yeah,
that's
exactly. And a lot of people think different things about that, and I did too. I didn't think I had a story until I went to this, and just stories just kept coming out, and I'm still fine-tuning it because there's so many factors involved. So one of the exercises is the 10 coolest things about you. Now, I had a hard time with this. I can only find like maybe 8, but like half of those were somebody else's that was like saying, I was like, oh yeah, that's me too. Oh, that's me. But I had to think about it later on, and like, what's the coolest things about, it's hard to do. Like, what's the coolest things about you? Maybe somebody said something like, you're awesome at this, or that's so cool, or something like that. I mean, I don't remember stuff like that, but I couldn't remember 10 cool things about me. So try to come up with 10 cool things about you. And then, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah, a big thing is a lot of people, they don't know how to look really deep within themselves and find these stories. We think we're being like our ego is kind of being embraced, but really
people don't think they're cool.
Yeah. So,
but you guys are cool.
This is something that you can do with going to somebody that you really, really trust, and that will be really honest with you, and ask them these questions. What's something that you think is really cool about me, and just be like really honest about it. Send that out to like 10 different people, because I didn't realize that I was good at certain things until someone told me I was good at them, because my confidence was really low, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am good at that. So sometimes you have to have someone else to tell you that you're good at something before you start believing it.
Yeah. Ask your kids, what's cool about me. I'm sure they'll be straightforward with you. They'll know. All right. The second exercise is name your top 5 movies. Why is this so important? Well, if you think of your 5 movies together, they're often a theme that runs through all 5. So what is the theme? The theme that runs through your life is likely the theme that runs throughout your favorite movies. So it's kind of weird because mine are usually like comedies.
Step Brothers.
Yeah, I mean I got some goofy ones, but that's just the way I am. I'm humor is a huge part of my theme. And if I didn't have humor, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So if you like if your top 5 is dramas, it just
reality
think,
check.
yeah, no, but yeah, just a fun thing. Just name your top 5 movies and see what the theme is. See what the heavy theme is. So you might have like 3 comedies and 2 documentaries or something. I don't know, but
sometimes, like, when people ask me questions like name my favorite movies, I have a really hard time with that because I'm like, well, it's not my favorite. Just think about what movies would you watch at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there's certain movies that I'm like, yeah, that
I
was
watch
stupid.
That every day.
I would totally not watch that again.
Yeah.
But so pick movies that you like. It doesn't have to be you're like, this is my favorite movie in the whole wide world. I get weirded out when people are like, what's your favorite color? I'm like, I don't know. So just think of things that you like.
So you're looking for that. Don't worry about the theme. Just worry about your top 5 movies, and then the theme will show itself. All right. The next exercise will be the defining moment. Now, this is a huge one because this is pretty much you. This is you. This is what made you. So you want to think of the greatest moment you ever had in your life and the one you're most proud of. Now forget that one because it's not a good story. All right. We don't want to see good. We don't want to see how great something is. We want to see, that moment you decided to fight, participate, or lead. This is your defining moment. Okay. So a little hint is it may be your lowest moment, a time when there was no answer. So that's kind of how you want to look at it. And some of the rules of the game, leave your heart on the page. So just give yourself 10 minutes. Give yourself 10 minutes and time yourself and just write. Just write nonstop. Just that defining moment. Leave your heart on the page. Something you might start with is like when I was 9 years old. This, and just keep on writing. Don't allow grammar and flow and accuracy. Don't judge or edit. Just write. And another thing, don't stop. Don't make it pretty. Write anything you want. A couple other starts would be when I lost my second wife, or when my dad broke my arm for the second time. I mean, just that. It's one of those things that changed everything in your life. Like, if this didn't happen, then you wouldn't be the person you are today. So, and I kind of added that when you tell your story, make sure you make it personal. Use names. You're trying to make it universal. The more personal the story is, the more universal the meaning. So you want the person you're telling your story to find themselves in your story. So that is that. How do you know if you have any questions?
Well, I'm just finish the slide.
Okay, so I'm going to finish this slide up here, and so how it would unfold pretty much is you'll get that person's attention, whether it be on Facebook, everyday conversation, and usually it's forming. So you're going to form this person. You're going to find out about them, and then eventually they're going to ask you what you do, and then eventually you're going to be able to tell your story. But just don't. There's a good time to you got to choose the right time to tell your story. Every time is not always the perfect time. Find the right time to tell your story.
Like in the grocery store?
Yeah. Just don't go up to people and be like, hey, when I was 9 years old, it's not, they'll be like, creepy. Who is this person? But obviously get to know them.
I just wanted eggs, sir.
Yeah. You're blocking the eggs. No, but yeah, it doesn't have to be when you first meet somebody that you tell your story. And it's all about that communication, just getting to know that person. And then you like kind of reel them in with your story. Like if it's personal, they're gonna give you something personal, and then that's kind of like a bond that you guys have.
You won't forget them either.
Yeah, and you just won't forget it, and they won't forget you. So I put it as telling your story, and then choosing the right time, and then the sell. Well, obviously you're not going to sell a person the first day, and if this is something like Beachbody related, now it doesn't have to be, but because of this call, I'm kind of making it Beachbody related. But there's other things. What you do today as a coach so what you do today as a coach, being a Beachbody coach, change your life in somehow, or your perspective in some way. Once you share that, you can share how you helped others. So if you're helping others, lose weight or get healthy and stuff like that, you can end your story with that and then tell them that, you're a Beachbody coach and this is what you do. But it can also be like the free cleaning challenge. I started this free cleaning challenge, and after your story, and it could be, or it could be like helping people overcome adversity, or helping people get stronger with their faith, or something that you can help them out for free. You want to help them out, something for free that you want to help them out with. And it just depends on what type of, like, you give your story, and then the story that they give you, like, what can you help them with that will change their life and give you, or give them your trust, and give you their trust. Did I say that twice? Give you trust and give them trust. So they'll trust you, you trust them, and yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, and schlabam, there it is.
How you doing with that?
And you don't have to hook people with Beachbody. So that's kind of a way you don't hook them with Beachbody right away. And again, that's kind of why we hold the free cleaning challenges, but you can do other challenges too. It doesn't matter, just as long as you can help them some way that you can earn their trust. And you're planting seeds and connecting with people. So once you're in their trust, they will follow you anywhere. And that is all that I have for that.
Hold on, but I want to make it like Beachbody related.
Yeah.
There's some of the things that hold on, I want to see what this chat is. All right. Am I freezing up? Was I freezing up? No? Okay, good. We're good? Good? Okay. So some of the things like Beachbody related, he was saying, what was he saying? Oh my gosh, I had like all these things. I was like, ooh, ah.
Like the free
and then it like went away. So was it the defining moment? The cell. Man, my brain just totally went. You can't
be jumping in there and then not having anything.
I know, that was crazy.
Cool to say.
That was crazy, guys. I'm sure it'll come to me like after the call ends, and I'll have to like post it in the group. But I was just thinking, people's, like, as an outsider looking in, I see so many stories like of people changing. Like Becky, huge transformation from the first time I ever met you. Just like, and I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about like just the person that you are, and like being more open, and now like inviting people to join you. Same thing with Connie. Connie and I have we've gotten together on a personal level about something that's not Beachbody related, and to be able to help somebody and see them apply it. You're building that trust with them, and now I know when times get tough, I know she's going to stay with us and be a part of what we have to represent. I've seen it with just so many people, Yesenia too, and Sybil. I've seen so many amazing changes in people, and just, I'm like, that is huge, a huge story, because you've made a breakthrough that people want to make. It's called confidence. You became confident in something that you were doing, and you found that through joining something with Beachbody. It's whether it was a challenge or becoming a coach, like those are stories that you can share with people of overcoming, because it's not easy to do what we do. It's not easy to put your story out there. Sometimes, like me, my big thing is when my life is not going the way that I want it to, I don't want to share that I'm struggling. I want to hide from people. And I'm overcoming that with Beachbody, because I am putting it out there that I'm not perfect and I don't have my stuff together. And it just shows you don't have to be a perfect person to do this business, but it's the fact that you can share with people, I am struggling and this is how I'm going to overcome it. And they can follow you on that journey and build that trust with you. There was another point that I was going to make too about when you build that relationship. I know it comes up a lot when people talk about, how do I know when's the right time to invite somebody? If you haven't connected deeply, then I don't feel it's right for me to invite somebody to a challenge. I need to connect with them on a deep level. That doesn't mean it's going to take me a year to do that. It just means that I've had to be involved, like in asking questions about their life, to the point where I'm going to remember them. Have you ever had like conversations with Beachbody, and you've had so many conversations that you see a name and you're like, geez, what is the last thing I said to them? So you got to go through your Facebook conversations. Like, it just means that you haven't built a meaningful relationship with them. And so it would be kind of weird to be like, hey girl, I just want to invite you to my challenge that I'm having on the 15th. I hate when people do that to me. I get it all the time as a Beachbody coach. Like, somebody messaged me today, hey, I'm in a contest and I just wanted to see if you can buy $15 worth of makeup. I was like, have you seen I don't really wear makeup? Why would you ask me to buy it? Clearly you don't care. Like maybe if you would have approached it in a different way, I would have done it. But I mean, it's just building that relationship with somebody that you remember who they are, you remember their story. I feel like that's when I am building a relationship. They become memorable to me, and I could ask them, hey, how's that going? And then go into sharing Beachbody with them. So does all that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? No questions? Okay, cool. Yeah. So whoever your success partner is, make sure you do exercise 1, 2, and 3 with them. If they're not on this call, we're going to post the notes in the group, and make sure you do that exercise. If you don't know the 10 cool things, ask somebody that knows you really well and say, hey, what do you think that's cool about me? Did you have something?
Yeah. So when you find these stories out and you're posting like your events, like, you know, your challenges, your fitness challenges, or even a free eating group, in the description, tell a story. Mm-hmm. Tell a story and how that changed somebody, or, you know, it actually like changed you. I mean, how your mindset changed, how you were consistent because of the accountability. I mean, tell it about you. Don't tell just what it is. Mm-hmm. Just tell how it worked for somebody.
Yeah.
And how it worked for you.
Because they're not listening to that story as that person. They're seeing, oh my God, I can do that. I've been wanting to do that. I'm totally, this is me. They're speaking to me. That's what they're seeing. They're not seeing Sally Sue lost 2 pounds and whatever. They're seeing, I can do this. I can lose those 2 pounds too. And it's just what I want before the holidays, or I want to stay on track during the Thanksgiving. Another big thing is practice this in other ways too. Like, for instance, I love giving advice about taking ownership of your life. Everybody that I talk to, I'm always telling them, take responsibility. Like a lot of us, we put pressure. I know when we first got married, I put pressure on him to make me happy, and he wasn't fulfilling that because he's not supposed to. We're together. So I remember someone telling me, like, it's really bad that you've put that responsibility on your husband to make you feel happy, because he's trying to find his own happiness, and I'm the only person that can ultimately make me feel happy. So I need to take that responsibility and say, if I don't like something, I can change it. And that doesn't mean leave the partnership. It just means find what makes you truly happy. And I was talking about my cousin to that, and she's like, I had to cut you off because I hear that you're saying that with about you and your husband and how you used to be and stuff like that. But I really think that advice, I like saw myself in it. Like I was thinking about apologizing to my husband for making him responsible for that. So she's like, oh my God, that was a bright idea. And I totally think, they put themselves in the story that you're telling, and that's what you want to do. So practice it outside of Beachbody too, just so you can get really good at it.
Yeah, the more descriptive, the better.
Yeah.
Make it descriptive, put names in there, make it personal. I was going to say something else and I forgot.
We're good at that tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, just even if it's like, I don't know, you gotta change the story, and you're going to change the story to who you're talking to. And don't think that I need to tell a story that this person's going to see them in my story.
Just tell a story.
I mean, just tell a story. Eventually something's gonna click, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this happened to me when I was, that age, or my dad did this, or, they'll see themselves in it in a way that you won't think that they see it in it, but
it's usually your personal. Like when I tell my personal stories, I know Connie and I have had, I keep bringing up her name, but we've had a lot of interaction with each other lately because we're both peas in a pod. And I'll tell a story and she's like, oh my God, you're explaining me. And it's, so those are the people that you want to attract. And when they see you overcoming things, they're going to say, I can freaking do it. If she can do it, I can do it. If she, who is a hot freaking mess, can do it, I can do it. And that's what, ultimately what I want to share with people. But
yeah, so I kind of had a story that I came up with today, and I couldn't remember it until today, and it was like, wow, that's, somebody could see themselves like something in this, and it's not like that personal, but it's just something that I remember when I was younger. So when I was 12 years old, my dad worked putting insulation in like homes and commercial buildings. And when I was 12, during the summer break, I would go to work with him. And I went to work with him, and I worked with him for a week. Back then, it wasn't the old spray insulation. You just go up in the attic and you just spray it around. It was that pink, you had to roll it out, the Pink Panther stuff you had to roll out, and it looked like cotton candy, but there was like fiberglass in it, and you had to lay it all out by hand. And he would tell me not to get that stuff. You don't get it on your skin. Don't get that stuff on your skin, because you'll be itching all day, and it'll be like poking you. And if you've ever had that on there, then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it feels like little needles going into your arm, and then it starts itching. And so we made sure to wear long sleeves, long pants. We had boots and our gloves and eye protection and that insulation mask. And we were good. I was happy the first day that, I wasn't itching, and, we would go home and then come back, and I did that all for a week. And, I went the whole week without getting anything, any insulation on me, or anything. And then, so we did that for a week, and I went to work with him, and on the weekend we would get in his truck, and I would have my short sleeve shirt on, and I would place my arm on the armrest on the door, and I mean, it felt like small spikes just going into my arm, and then it started itching really bad, and then instantly just started itching, and I was like itching all day, and so the whole week I was careful about getting this insulation all over my skin and stuff, and come to find out it was on everything that I touched after that. So everything that I would rub up against, everything that I would put my arm on, or any exposed skin, even the chair of the truck, it would hit the back of my leg if I was wearing shorts. I mean, anything, and it was all over. So, I mean, it was just one of those things where, you try to be careful for the whole week, and it was just one of those things that you didn't want to happen, but eventually it did happen, and not the way you wanted it to happen. But it was just kind of funny how you could be careful like that, and then it's going to happen to you anyway. And I mean, it was just funny to me.
Was anybody else like, that was one of the things that he had to do for the personal story group. But wow, my hair is crazy. Was anybody else, like, did you guys picture it? Were you like in the truck and you could picture him with long sleeves on? I was totally like picturing the whole thing, but it's because he was using like such graphic words. I was thinking of the pink insulation, and I totally remember that, and I could just picture like you if you barely like touch your skin, you could feel the pokies, and like, but that's what you want to do, is you want to tell stories like that where people are in the story. But if you're like insulation truck, they're gonna be like, boring, who cares, like. But you can actually, and the moral of the story was just basically to use detail, be descriptive, like talk about different things like that. I reminded myself while he was talking, and I wrote it down. So the whole purpose of like a sneak peek and a business opportunity is to get people in a room to hear your story, is what it is. Your story with Beachbody, your story of overcoming, your story of whatever it is, fitness, finances, confidence. So when you're thinking about that, every time you want to share the business opportunity, every time you want to share a challenge, think, if I can just talk to 10 people about my story and share this story with them, that one person will sign up. It's a guarantee. 1 out of 10 are going to sign up. I mean, it might not be if you have, Billy, Bob, Mary, and you have those 10 people, one of those 10 people, but you get 100 people, 10 people are going to sign up. It might, not be that whole 1 out of 10. Maybe it's 2 out of 10, 0 out of this 10, but it's 10%, and sometimes even 20%. So think about that when you're sharing this opportunity. Think about just getting 10 people to hear your story. Sometimes that's easier than thinking about like the whole invite process. Some people get overwhelmed with that, or maybe you're just looking to shake things up and try something new. 10 people, tell them your story, ask them if they want to join you.
Yes, 10 people. Try to tell as many people as you can. I mean, you'll gradually define your story, and it's got to be you got to be to where you can tell it for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a half hour. What if you were asked to speak on stage at some conference or something? Just make sure you're able to do that, and be as descriptive as possible, and use it as much as possible.
And practice your story. Practice. Like, just practice everything you have to say. Well, we have less.
And you have more than one story.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, we all have many stories. So we have less than a minute left. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. I know it's a busy weekend, but I really appreciate your time. We'll post a recording. Tag your success partner if they're not on this call. Thank you guys.
You guys are awesome.
Talk to you later. Bye.